chose you. He formed you. So whatever that you're going through in your life, whatever you may be facing, God chose you and destined you for greatness. Hey Faith fam, welcome back to my channel. This is Paulina, aka Linaebu. On this channel I do a lot of faith-based content and Christian lifestyle. And from time to time you will see my beautiful blended family. Also, stay tuned to the end of the video because I have a special video from my family for you. But we have a new theme this year where we are becoming a better version of ourselves. So if you are on the journey to become a better version of yourself as well, go ahead and click that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a chance anytime I upload. We would love to have you join our family. I usually post every other week. Bam. Before I get started, I have a special announcement. If you are in the DFW area and you are between the ages of 18 to 40, I have an event for you. So our young adult ministry, the Vine Young Adults at my church, is hosting its very first worship night. We would love for you to come out and have fun with us. We are going to be doing fellowship, games, food, prizes. It's going to be a wonderful time. So I would love for you to join us. I'll post the address in the description box below. It's at 2695 East Arkansas in Grand Prairie, Texas, on June 28th from 6 to 9. We would love, love, love to see you there. But I know I am not the only person that has ever felt insecure. I know I can't be. I have felt insecure several times in my life, and even recently, like, I tried to record this video like 4 times just because I didn't like the way it was looking, and I felt insecure about what I was putting out there. But man, I have felt insecure several times, and I know that you probably have felt that way as also. You know, I was doing my Bible study. I was looking out at several people that I noticed in the Bible. There are like countless people in the Bible that they also face insecurity. Like, I think of Moses. Moses said he couldn't speak well, but God told him, I will be with you, and he also sent his cousin Aaron to help him out as well. Then I think of Gideon in the Bible, and the angel of the Lord came and talked to him and said, you mighty man of valor, I have work for you to do. And Gideon's response was like, who, me? I'm the least in my family, and if God is here, where is he at? But what I noticed about both of those stories, I noticed that God not only reassured him, but he told him he was going to be right there. But the story that stood out to me the most about insecurity was in Jeremiah. Jeremiah 1 verses 4 through 9. It says, the word of the Lord came to me. I chose you before I formed you in the womb. I set you apart before you were born. I appointed you a prophet to the nations. But I protested. Oh no, Lord God, look, I don't know how to speak, since I am only a youth. Then the Lord said to me, do not say I am only a youth, for you will go to everyone I send you and speak whatever I tell you. Do not be afraid of anyone, for I will be with you to rescue you. This is the Lord's declaration. Then the Lord reached out his hand, touched my mouth, and told me, I have now filled your words with my mouth. You know, and as I was going over this passage, it just showed me, like, even throughout all of our insecurities, that God is going to be with us the entire time. So I don't know if you don't know. I don't know if you know the backstory about Jeremiah, but just a little backstory about him. So he was a priest before he became a prophet, and as a priest he had to intercessor, or the mediator, to get between God. Then he became a prophet. became a prophet, he could have been like maybe 19 or 20, but the weight of a prophet, that is a heavier task. So he had to be like, a prophet is known to be like the voice of God. So he had to deliver hard truths. He had to say whatever God wanted him to say. So I can only imagine how he must have felt, right? Like the weight of being a prophet, God's prophet at that. So what I noticed in verse 5 is how God went to him. He told him about himself. He said, I chose you before I formed you in the womb. I set you apart before you were born. I appointed you a prophet to the nations. And it just, I like to pick apart words, because if I don't know, well, I know what they mean, but I like to pick apart words and be like, Lord, why did you put this word in here? So the word chose, that stood out to me, right? So chose literally refers to someone or something, and it means to pick out as being the best or most appropriate option. And I'm like, wow, God chose Jeremiah. And it just reminded me how God chooses each one of us. And then not only did he choose him, he said, I formed you in the womb before you were born. And the word form means to bring together, to create something into a visible shape or a configuration of something. So those words stuck out to me, because it's like, wow, not only did God choose you, he formed you. So whatever that you're going through in your life, whatever you may be facing, God chose you and destined you for greatness. Like, I know everybody's not called to be a prophet, but he still has plans and purposes for you. Oh, by the way, I do have upcoming videos about purpose and talents. Just stick with me. Those are coming. I hear all the comments coming in, but those videos are coming. But I found it really awesome to know that God chose him and God formed him. So each and every one of us, God chose and formed each and every one of us. But I noticed how after God said, I chose you and I formed you, that's when Jeremiah's insecurity started to raise up, right? So Jeremiah said, oh no, Lord God, I can't speak, for I'm only a youth. And I think about it and I'm like, I feel like, I don't know, but when I was first reading this passage, I was reading it like, oh my, God got a little angry, like, oh no, you're going to go where I tell you to go. But then I looked at other versions and it was a little bit softer in terms of, it said, you must go to where I tell you to go. And don't be afraid, for I will be with you. And that part just stood out to me, because the implication of that, Jeremiah, you have to go, you must go. Like, Jeremiah didn't know the weight of what he was about to do, but God was saying that he's going to be with him. He formed him and he created him, so he didn't have to be afraid. He could rely on God's strength to get him through. And he has to go because you don't know who's depending on you to keep going, keep moving forward. So that spoke volumes to me, even throughout my insecurity. Like, if God formed you and God created you and he chose you and set you out for a purpose, that means whatever you're facing, whatever you're going through, whatever you may feel that causes you to feel inadequate, just rely on God's strength, because he chose you for what you're called to do. So when he chose you, that means he took everything he already knew about you. He took all of your past, all of what you deem as a mistake. He took everything and formed it together for something special. So I love this passage of Jeremiah because it shows us how to rely on God's strength. Like, just think about it like this. If God was thoughtful enough to create the stars of the universe, that means he created you with a purpose. So you are destined for greatness. That means you have purpose inside of you. That means you are set apart. Feel inadequate, just remember God is with you. Remember that you don't go through what you're facing alone. So fam, as I promised, I have my wonderful bonus baby here. Like, she didn't know that she was going to present at church, right? So she got to church and they told her that day, like, hey, we need you to present. So she came up to me, she was like, Miss Paulina, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm really scared. I'm really, really nervous. I don't know if I'm going to do this. And I said, baby, you got this. God is with you. And I know that you will do great. You will do an awesome job. So do you want to try it? And she was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and try it. But I want you to see just how, when you rely on God's strength, what you can accomplish. Until then, I'll see you in my next video.
In one of our lessons this month, we learned about shared faith, determination, and perseverance from the story in Mark chapter 2, verses 1 through 12, how Jesus healed the paralytic man.
Hey everyone, I have a few questions for you. 1, are you prepared to share your faith with a friend? Are you prepared to overcome obstacles when sharing your faith in Jesus with a friend? 3, are you willing to go the extra mile with a friend?
We learned that the faith of friends allowed nothing to deter them. In conclusion, Jesus was more concerned about the man's spiritual healing, but take note, he marveled at the faith of friends who persevered through the crowd. And yes, Jesus, who is our healer, healed the man spiritually as well as physically.
Amen.